The wind howled through the ancient forest of Vaendel, rustling the silver-leaved trees under the twilight sky. Deep within the heart of the woods, a lone traveler trudged through the overgrown path, his leather boots caked in mud. His cloak, once a regal blue, was now tattered and stained from years on the road. Aldrich knew this was the night he had waited for. The stars had aligned in a pattern foretold in old scrolls, and the whispers of the land had led him here, to the ruins of Mithroth Keep. It was here that the cursed crown of Eldoria had been lost, and it was here that Aldrich would claim it. The ruins loomed ahead, their jagged stone towers broken by time. Vines curled around fallen pillars, and strange blue flames flickered in sconces that should have been cold for centuries. Aldrich had spent his life searching for this place. He had been just a child when the kingdom of Eldoria fell. The royal family was slaughtered, and the cursed crown, an artifact of immense power, was lost. Some said the crown had been a gift from the gods, granting its wearer the wisdom of kings. Others believed it was forged by dark sorcery, corrupting any who dared to wear it. Aldrich's father had been the last loyal knight of Eldoria, slain protecting the royal bloodline. His dying words had haunted Aldrich ever since. The crown must be found, before the darkness returned. And now, after decades of searching, Aldrich stood before its resting place. Stepping over the threshold, Aldrich's breath turned to mist. The air was thick with forgotten magic. Who dares trespass? The voice echoed through the ruin. Aldrich spun, drawing his sword. Before him stood a ghostly figure, a woman in a flowing silver gown, her face pale as moonlight. I am Aldrich of Eldoria, he said. I seek the crown. The spirit's eyes flickered with recognition. Aldrich, son of Sir Gerd. His grip on the sword tightened. You knew my father. The ghost nodded. I am Queen Lysera, last ruler of Eldoria. Your father gave his life for my family, but I failed him. Aldrich swallowed hard. Tell me how to find the crown. Lysera's form shimmered, her expression turning sorrowful. It is guarded by the Ebon Sentinel, an ancient wraith bound to its power. If you seek the crown, you must defeat it. Aldrich clenched his jaw. He had prepared for this. The queen raised a spectral hand, and the stone floor trembled. A deep growl rumbled through the ruins, and a gust of wind blew through the chamber, as the Ebon Sentinel emerged from the shadow. The Sentinel was a towering figure of black mist and armor, its eyes glowing with violet fire. In one hand, it held a blade wreathed in shadows, in the other, a rusted shield carved with the symbols of old kings. Aldrich barely had time to react before the creature lunged. He rolled aside, its sword slamming into the ground where he had stood. The impact sent cracks through the stone. Steel clashed against darkness, as Aldrich struck. His blade, enchanted with old elven runes, met the sentinel's shadowy form with a burst of light. The wraith let out a shriek, but it did not falter. Again and again, Aldrich struck, dodging the creature's blow, but the sentinel did not tire. It was eternal. Desperation clawed at Aldrich's heart. He could not win by strength alone. Then he remembered the words of an old sage. A shadow cannot exist without light. Gritting his teeth, Aldrich dropped his sword and reached for the sunstone amulet around his neck, a relic of the Eldorian priest. He clutched it and whispered an ancient prayer. The amulet flared, flooding the chamber with golden light. The sentinel let out a final, tortured wail as its form disintegrated into mist, vanishing into the ether. Silence fell. Aldrich collapsed to his knees, breathing heavily. He had won. At the center of the chamber, resting upon a broken throne, was the cursed crown. It was made of obsidian and gold, its design both beautiful and menacing. The moment Aldrich's fingers brushed against it, a surge of power coursed through his veins. Visions filled his mind, battles long past, kings who had ruled with wisdom and cruelty alike. And then came the voice, wear me, and you shall rule. Aldrich's breath hitched. The power was intoxicating. He could rebuild